Cigar Snapshot, Episode 2. And welcome back to the second episode of Cigar Snapshot. I can say welcome back now because, well, this is actually my second episode. So if you've made it this far, I thank you and congratulate you. So, what are we going to do today? Well, I think the best thing to do is just to start off with going through our normal procedure, going through a review, and showing you how things are going to go on a typical day. First of all, I would like to make a couple of announcements from last week. First, I forgot to mention one of the ways that you can get in touch with me, and that is via Twitter. So please follow me on Twitter at Cigar Snapshot, or you can also follow me personally at Maytagman1. That's Maytagman and the number 1. Maytagman1 is my personal account, so that will have just daily random updates. The Cigar Snapshot account will contain show updates and things that have to do with the show directly. I did receive lots of great feedback from my first episode, and I really appreciate it. A lot of great emails, a lot of great comments on the website. And I actually also received a voicemail. So I'm going to play that for you right now. And actually, Scott in California emailed me a file from his phone. So he used his mobile phone to record the file and then emailed it to me. So that's another way that you can leave me feedback. So let's hear from Scott right now.
Hey, Bill. Scott Heiser here, at Cigar Choice on Twitter, Po Riggedy on Stogie Chat. Just wanted to say good job on the first podcast. Look forward to more. And as far as the audio quality goes, I thought it was pretty good from my phone. So keep it up and look forward to more, man. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks again, Scott, for the feedback. I really appreciate it. And I want to encourage all of you to give me feedback as well. Remember that you can go to the website, www.cigarsnapshot.com, and leave a comment after the episode. You can email your feedback to feedback@cigarsnapshot.com. You can go to facebook.com/cigarsnapshot, like us and leave a comment there. I'm on Twitter as well, like I just mentioned, at Cigar Snapshot and at Maytagman1. And finally, you can call the voicemail feedback line and leave me a message, 209-432-3535. I'd love to hear from you, and your feedback might get played on a future show like Scott's was today. What cigar am I going to be smoking today? Well, I thought since this is my first official review, I would pick out something special, something that's atypical for me. It's a Davidoff 1000 from Cuba. The size on the cigar, it's a 4 5/8 by 34 ring gauge Panatella. The wrapper, binder, and filler are all from Cuba. I actually received this cigar as a gift a few years ago, and I thought it would be a good choice for my first snapshot. As a lot of you probably know, Davidoff produced Cuban cigars from 1969 until they discontinued in 1991. Now, the Davidoff 1000 started production in the 1970s and ceased production in 1991. And the sample that I'm smoking was from the mid-1980s. So, like I said, this is an atypical selection for me because though they can still be found on occasion, they tend to be prohibitively expensive. So, let me tell you what I thought of this cigar. Looking at the pre-light, kind of an examination of the cigar, the wrapper was medium brown with a little bit of mottling, and very, very smooth to the touch. The cigar is very well filled, had no hard or soft spots that would indicate potential burn problems. And the white Davidoff band that most of you have probably seen was actually quite yellowed with age. And it was loose on the cigar, and it just actually slid right off. There were no other major veins or defects visible, so it looked good. The pre-light aroma was very light with an almost perfume-like quality. There's also a very slight hint of a wet leather on the nose. The pre-light flavor that I got was a light tobacco flavor with a little bit of allspice or something like that. So I lit the cigar, and in the first about third of the cigar, it started off with that light tobacco flavor, and it had that nice leather-like undertone that I noted in the pre-light. The perfume and spice flavors that I noted in the pre-light aroma were there as well. So it was a really nice, pleasant overall experience. As it progressed into the second third, the light flavors that I noted had just a slight hint of a white pepper-like spice. So it wasn't like a super blast of spice, but just something to take the edge off of the lightness and give me just a little bit of tingle on my lips. Okay, and that kind of continued and built. And then in the final third, though the flavors were still light and delicate, the flavors kind of layered together. So the perfume-like spiciness, the leathery components all kind of really blended together well. And it actually ended up a lot more complex than I had thought such a small cigar would be. And I think also the uniqueness of the experience kind of made this cigar very special for me. So it was a quick smoke, about 35, 40 minutes or so, I think. And so it provided a lot of different flavor combinations. And like I said, plus it was a special experience for me. So I thought it was a nice way to start off the cigar. Now, if you can find them, I would definitely recommend giving it a try. But, I would also not hunt them down too hard because of the price that you have to pay. So that's my take on the Davidoff 1000 cigar from Cuba. It was from the mid-1980s, so you may not be able to find them now. However, if you do find one and you do have the coin, I would definitely recommend giving it a shot, not only for the quality of the cigar, but also for the experience of smoking something that, is not something that you find in your everyday brick and mortar. One thing I would like to share is that we have been approved on iTunes, so I would love for you to subscribe on iTunes and rate us there. I'd also like your feedback. Remember, there are a lot of different ways you can get in touch with me, and I'd love to hear from you. So that'll do it for today. Thanks again for listening to the podcast. My goal is to improve with every episode, increase my content, increase the quality, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Cigar Snapshot podcast. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or compliments, I'd like to hear from you. Leave a comment at cigarsnapshot.com. Send an email to feedback@cigarsnapshot.com. Check us out on facebook.com/cigarsnapshot. Like us and leave a comment. Or call and leave your comment on the Cigar Snapshot voicemail feedback line at 209-432-3535.